All right, bald-headed Bolo in the building. Got a few gray hairs coming through. I'm feeling very distinguished today. And man, I had a very, very exciting day because I went to my guy, Major Seven, the producer. He had a baby shower today, him and his wife were expecting a baby. And man, that was very cool. And then after that, I ended up at the studio. And of course, we had a very good conversation. And man, we talked about the whole AI thing that's going on with Timbaland. And people wanted to see my opinions on it. And I'm going to tell you guys what, some people felt and what I told some people in the studio tonight. So let's go ahead and get to it. Bolo! I had a very interesting conversation about this whole AI artist thing and, of course, what Timbaland is doing. And people have very much mixed reviews on it, okay? As much as some people have negative reviews, some people actually have positive reviews. And to be honest, I'm kind of in the middle with it, to be honest with you, because it's not really my business. Like, somebody asked me tonight, Bolo, how do you feel about the whole thing with Timbaland and the whole AI situation? And to be honest with you, I just said, hey, it's not my business because I'm not trying to do it, and that's what he's trying to do. And he's an innovator. If you listen to his music sounded 20, 30 years before, like we even thought about of a sound like that. Like he was always ahead of his time when he did things. And that's what he's trying to do now, I guess, So I pretty much said, hey, I'm pretty much out of it because I'm not trying to do it right now. And, some people, felt like it was kind of cool because you can have your own artist. You can pretty much tell your artist what to do. Your artist will execute it. And if it fails, the artist will not even be able to talk back to you because the artist is artificial intelligence. And for people who have been in the music game, they kind of understand this a little bit more than some people who have not been deep into the music industry like that. Like one of the worst things you can deal with in the music industry is artists and just pretty much anybody who talks back. You know what I'm saying? Because if you have to have been in that situation to really kind of understand why some of these people are like either number one, they're not being in the music game, or they just completely got out of it because of the demands of what artists try to tell people who are basically putting up the capital and giving them the means to become an artist. And you would be astonished by what some of these artists will say, what they think that you should be doing with your money and with your resources. That's why it's been documented. You've seen people like, Master P saying the reason why I don't do this music thing is not no money. And then, artists, they want this, that, and this, that, but you're spending your money to get them, but they're telling you what they want you to do with your money. And it's true. You know what I'm saying? Me, even at the time when I was managing an artist like that and I was on the road, it's like, sometimes the artist wanted certain things that just could not be provided. And sometimes they wanted certain things from the record company that you would just be like, I don't think they're going to do that. You know what I'm saying? And a lot of times the record companies would be looking at the artists like, well, what is this? You know what I'm saying? We're doing the best we can. And if you've been in that situation, you can kind of understand. Now, is this a means of now you have to go get artificial intelligence and to try to do that? No, it does not mean that. It just means you need to find the right artist that aligns with you, but that's very hard to find that because for some reason, people feel like if you're spending money on them, that they should be able to tell you exactly everything that you should be doing with your money. But, we all know how that can go. But with this situation that's going on right now, what I think a lot of people are failing to realize is we still have to actually like the song, regardless if it's made by a human or if it is artificial intelligence. And I was trying to explain to them that this is not an easy thing to do. Like, I think some people think it's just, oh, we're going to type in a prompt and it's going to say, hey, click, 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 make the perfect song that every human being will like, and click, 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 make the perfect AI generated person that every human being will like, and shoot it out to every single person, and it's going to be perfect. Not going to happen, because we're humans. We all have opinions. We have different perspectives. And of course, if we hear a song, some people are going to like it, some people are not going to like it. And if you really think about it, other than like the BBL Drizzy situation where the one guy did the BBL Drizzy, and he does a lot of stuff online where he does like parody songs where he uses the AI stuff and he types in the prompts and tells it what to say, and it'll make like a song from like the 60s and 70s. He did the BBL Drizzy, and Drake actually used it on a Sexy Red song. Other than that piece of like AI generated stuff, has there really been an AI song that was a hit record? Like, can you really think about an AI song that you know is AI that has been a hit record? Even though this AI stuff has been out for quite a while, even longer than what you guys think, because a lot of these sites been up for a long time. It's just that people are just now figuring out about this on the masses, because now, you know, you have a person like Timbaland and you have a few people like me. I've been talking about this AI stuff for years on this platform. But have you really heard of an AI song that is charting, that people are like going nuts over it? And just for me, no, we haven't got to that point yet. And that's what I'm really trying to go right now. And I was trying to tell the people at the studio, I was like, listen, you know, there hasn't been a song like that because we are humans. We humans kind of decide what is what. And even if you try to throw money behind it, if you try to, you know, make it seem like it's bigger than what it is, a lot of songs that have been done that way, where people had tried to dump money into it and tried to promote it as much as they can, a lot of them did not make it. You may know the song, but it's not like, oh my God, this is a legendary song. And there have been songs where they tried to push it out to the masses and it just didn't work because people did not like the song like that. It wasn't captivating to them. It wasn't a hit, like a real hit, legit hit. And so that's why I was trying to explain to them. I was like, you know, even though if he does do this and it does work out, it doesn't mean that we're going to like every single song that is AI generated. Now, I know some people was on, and I seen some clips of some of the stuff that people was on the lives. They were saying it's demonic. A lot of people are getting upset. A lot of artists, a lot of musicians are upset. But you got to understand this. I've been around for 25 years doing music. Now, am I the biggest producer in the world? No, not at all. I've had my run. But on the way to getting to where I was at, I went through the age where analog went to digital. And oh my goodness. Now, you got to think, this is before social media and everything. So this is the stuff I was hearing when I was able to get into some of these higher end studios. I didn't get to make it into a lot until I got to like Atlanta. But when I did get into some of these higher end studios, the few times I did, Oh my goodness, the way a lot of the engineers and the way a lot of the producers were like, oh my God, you got these guys making beats on the computer. It's going to ruin the music industry. It's not going to be the same anymore. Everybody's going to have access. People were just totally freaking out over, the normal person being able to make music in their bedroom. And I mean, people were going crazy over it. Like, oh my goodness, now anybody could just buy a cheap laptop and an interface and they can get, Cubase or something like that and record a song and just get some plugins. And it's not going to sound right. It's not going to be this. It's not going to be that. And then the first argument was, oh, it's not going to sound right. The sound is going to sound too thin, which a lot of that stuff did sound kind of thin. You had to kind of find ways to get it sounding right. But that was the first thing. Music's going to be destroyed because it's not going to sound right. But even though a lot of the stuff didn't, quote unquote, sound right, it still resonated with people. And people still liked the music. Because as much as we talk about sound and everything else is really about the song and how does that song make people feel. There's plenty of songs, especially in the hip hop genre that I deal with, that is not mixed very well. Some of these are straight out of the computer. Like my biggest hit, that's right now on iTunes. Watch Me Whip, Watch Me Nay Nay. I recorded it, made the beat, mixed it, did everything that night, and that same exact version is on iTunes right now. But it was a hit record. Grassroots at that. Like we didn't put any money into the whole situation at all. No money got into that situation until it got signed to Capitol. Other than that, we just found ways to, to get the song moving. And that's how it happened. You know what I'm saying? With the help of one of the people over at TuneCore at the time, she got us hooked up with like the top 50 dancers around the world. They danced to it, but people liked it. They gravitated towards it. Shout out to Camille. That took us over, but we didn't spend any money. We didn't do nothing. People just liked the record. That's how things happen. And is it the best mixed song in the world? No, not at all. I listen to it right now and be like, man, I wish I could have did something else to that kick. But then when Jason Joshua did the radio mix and he did the mix that they play in movies and stuff like that, it's like, oh, that's why he's a professional. You know what I'm saying? He did his thing on that. I was like, oh, he got these throws and stuff everywhere. But it did take the song to another level, but people still liked the song in the state that it was in. There's plenty of songs out that were not mixed good, but it still made it. And then there's songs right now that some people are like, oh my God, how can somebody like this song? How can some people like this? It's just some songs resonate with people. Whether it's a human song or it's an AI type of a song. And I remember in the mid 2000s, it was like, oh my God, everybody has access to this. The music industry is going to be ruined. But we're still here. And I think regardless of whatever happens with this AI situation, humans are still going to have a hand in doing this. It's not just going to be a code where it wakes up every day and just it makes a new song and it is what it is and everybody's just going to love it. Because if you really think about it, this whole AI thing has been going on for a very, very, very long time. Even from the beginning of when people used to play Sims and pretend to be somebody and you just pretending to be something. We've been playing this game for a very long time. But what I did say is, might be a little controversial to some of you people out there, and I might take some flack and people might make some videos about what I said or whatever, but I got to keep it real. Regardless of what age that we've been in, there's always been a thing called disgruntled artists. Are you guys trying to build your studio but don't have all the money right now? Well, if you're trying to do that, you might want to go ahead and click on my link in the description and head over to Zounds.com. Zounds has a whole bunch of stuff on the site, and they have a whole bunch of stuff on the site that does not require a credit or background check. Meaning, all you have to do is order it, they will ship it to you, and then you can just make monthly installments while you use your stuff. Now, it's not everything on the site, but it is a whole bunch of stuff on the site that you guys can get right now by clicking my link in the description and heading over to Zounds.com. So why wait? Go ahead and get you some gear today. Disgruntled producers, disgruntled managers. You know what I'm saying? It's always been that. And what I mean by that, especially with disgruntled artists, and I'll say disgruntled musicians, let's put it like that, is because sometimes, I'm not saying everybody, but there's a lot of them that I've come across over the years that tend to blame their state of where they're at in music on something else. It's not me, it's something else that's holding me back. It's this that's holding me back. And now that this AI thing is coming in, this is going to hold me back even further. And that's not the case. And that's what I've seen with a lot of people who have had objections to this. Now, I'm not saying it's everybody. Now, it's one young Guru got on there and he really went in, and, Guru is somebody who, he keeps it 100. I remember I was on the phone with him for like an hour, and he was telling me how dope the machine was compared to the MPC. And he was telling me, yo, everything that you were saying that the machine can't do, it can do. And he was telling me over the phone, and very passionate about it. And I like that, because even though this man has had so many accomplishments, worked with so many people, like hell, he worked with Hove. Like, come on. You know what I'm saying? You can go to the old DVD where he's in the studio arguing and being passionate about, putting out the record with Hove and everything. Like, this man is a legend in the game. And he's on the phone with me. You know what I'm saying? Shout out to my dog EA Ski for hooking up that call, man. And then, he's very passionate about everything that he talks about, especially in music, mixing, plugins, hardware. This very knowledgeable, knows what he's talking about. And he had a very good conversation with Timbaland that night. I didn't get to see the whole thing, but you could tell he's very passionate about it. And he was really, saying, hey, I don't think this is good. And I seen his points as well. And I can take that from him, from what he was saying. I can definitely take everything that he was saying as well. And that's what, we need to have, those type of conversations, these hard conversations that need to go on, especially for the music side. But that's two professionals that we're talking, because we got to understand Timbaland is a professional at what he does. Guru is a professional at what he does. But then you have people who are not professionals that want to be at that point. They want to be big artists. They want to have that level of artistry where people are enjoying their music, and there's millions of people who, like their songs and stuff like that. That's what they want. And they never achieved that. So now they're kind of disgruntled in a sense, but now you have another enemy that has now entered the chat room, and is now the AI artist, which the AI artist has been going on for years now. It's just now heightened that we now have somebody that is in somebody's shoes like Timbaland that's saying, hey, this is what I'm doing. And he's telling you what he's doing. It's not like he's trying to hide it. He's telling you. But they've had AI artists for a very long time. They've already had this going on already. You know what I'm saying? So it's nothing new. But like I said, how many times have you heard an AI artist on the Billboard? How many times have you seen an AI artist go like double and triple platinum, or even gold at that point? So, you see a lot of these artists now that's like, oh man, this is bad. This is not good. And it takes me back to when I was in the studio and you would hear these engineers talking about home studios was bad for the music industry. And what I want to tell a lot of you guys is, I don't think nothing is going to change. Just me personally, and I could be wrong, and I want you guys to let me know in the comment section, how do you feel about this? Because I want to make this a discussion. I really want this to be a discussion that you guys can, we can go in the comment section and talk about this. But I don't think it's going to be much, and I'm going to tell you why. We can all remember around about 2 or 3 years ago, when the whole digital art thing came out. Okay, y'all remember that? And everybody was, putting their money into this whole digital art situation. I keep forgetting the name of it, but the NFTs, I think it was called. And everybody was putting their money into this, and everybody was like, this is going to be the new way of art, and we're going to make so much money and do this. It's the artificial art intelligence thing, and we're going to put our money, or NFTs, that's what's called. I say NFTs. I'm sorry. And I know if you guys have watched the whole video, because the ones who didn't watch the video is going to correct me to say NFTs. So I know who you are if you didn't watch the whole thing. But a lot of people were buying these NFTs, and this was supposed to be the new digital art. And I almost got into it for a second. But then I never really put my money into it, because I was like, you know what? A lot of people are like, oh, this is going to destroy the art industry. The people are going to be doing this, doing that. And then it hit really big, and everybody's like, oh, this is it. And then it crumbled. Because the human element. We as humans love when we know another human created something. That's the cool thing about it. And even though the NFTs still were kind of like created by humans, some people were doing like just, they were doing prompts and stuff like that and just creating certain things. And it wasn't like necessarily like it was done by hand. People like when you really just do something. They want to hear a real human voice, real human, expression, real human vibes, which that's what we can feel, because we're all interconnected in a sense. So we know what it is. So right when everybody was like, oh, this is going to be it, I was like, I don't know how long this is going to last. And the same thing with this whole AI situation. I don't know how long it's going to last, even if it's even going to make it to that point. So I think right now, with a lot of people, I think people really need to just chill and just wait and see what happens. Because there might be some people who might want to be copycats and say, oh, this is what's going to happen and it's going to be over with. And then, on the flip side of that, some people say, well, with this whole AI thing, people are not even making real melodies, and people are not doing this and people are not doing that. Yeah. But at the end of the day, most of the songs right now that are being made by people. And either whether they're typing in notes or whether they're playing in notes, it's still coming from a human brain. Yes, some people are trying to take the shortcuts, but we all know that the shortcuts don't really work in this industry. Shortcuts do not work. They can seem like they work, but shortcuts do not work in this industry. And it's been proven year after year after year after year. And I think right now, with what you can do with certain sites like, Suno and stuff like that, where everybody's on there, as you guys can see, it's a gang of people on there right now doing this. And there still hasn't been any like real deal hit records made off this. And then when people did try to use it, this is the crazy part, and I'm going to end it from here. When people did try to use it, they got caught and they got called out. And then people didn't mess with it at all. So I do want to say, like, to everybody, we don't know how this is going to go. I think some people may be overreacting right now because they're scared that their music career will never take off, because now they got to deal with the computer now. They got to deal with the AI stuff. But at the end of the day, it's not the AI that's going to hold you back. It's not another artist that's going to hold you back. Like I said before 1,000 times on these videos, sometimes even though that your music might be good, your music might be great, it's just a God-given gift sometimes. And even though you might be better than a certain artist, you might be better than the AI, sometimes you might not make it because it just wasn't your time to make it. God didn't decide for you to do that. You see what I'm saying? And I'm not trying to be mean or anything like that, because I'm not the best producer in the world at all. I'm not the best engineer. I'm not the best mixer, whatever. It was just God's timing. And that's what got me at this point. And I had to go a very long way. And even when I wanted to quit and I wanted to do, other things, God didn't allow me to do it. So even with this AI and all this stuff going on right now, let's just chill. Let's just see if this is what it's going to be. Because right now, I don't really see that big of an issue from it. I know some people do, and you can let me know in the comments or make videos, whatever you want to do. But I think we just need to chill, see what happens, and just keep making music. That's all we can do right now. Just keep making music and let the humans decide if they really want AI or not.